Excellencies, my colleagues journalists, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to open this press conference, and as first I give a floor for President of Latvia, Andris Bērziņš.
First, I would like to mention that it was a great honor for me today to award the highest award of the Republic of Latvia, the Cross of Merit, to Anders Fogh Rasmussen, the Secretary General of NATO. Thus, it was a token of his great contribution to Latvia's development and security already for 22 years. Thank you, Mr. Rasmussen. Likewise, I would like to thank Mr. Rasmussen for his personal contribution to taking very important decisions for the Latvia and all the alliance, including the Chicago summit decision to continue the air policing in Latvia indefinitely. And this morning, as I met with the Secretary, we discussed different issues very important for the security of Latvia and the whole alliance. And we all know that in 2014, the operation in Afghanistan will be completed. And therefore, of course, we also discussed new ways of developing our cooperation between the armed forces of the allies. And of course, I was very glad to hear that we have very many ideas of how to cooperate in the future based on this concept of smart defense. Also, I emphasized the very successful cooperation that Latvia has established with Finland and Sweden, which are our closest partners among the NATO member states and also our close colleagues in Afghanistan. And the visit of the NATO Secretary General takes place at a very special time, because next year we will celebrate the 10th anniversary since we have joined NATO and the European Union. And we are already preparing for the next NATO summit, which will be held next year in the United Kingdom. And as a part of this preparatory process, we discussed different issues that are very important to be included in the agenda of this summit, and we also exchanged various ideas regarding the regional development. Among others, we shared our Latvian experience in cooperating and also strengthening the cooperation with the Eastern Partnership countries and also the Central Asian countries. Now we are in Adazi, where NATO training Steadfast Jazz 2013 takes place, and I must say that I am gratified that Latvia, along other Baltic States and Poland, have the honor of hosting this event. And such training sessions have been organized already for 17 times, and tomorrow I will also closely follow this training in Poland. And along with the Steadfast Jazz in Latvia and Lithuania and Estonia, also the headquarters training Baltic Host 2013 also is taking place. I would like to express my gratitude to all the organizers of the training, first of all to Latvian National Armed Forces, as well as the other member states of the NATO and partner countries, and all the soldiers who have contributed to successfully conducting this training.
Paldies. Thank you. Well, just a while ago, I just tweeted Steadfast Jazz rocks, and I think that's more or less how we all feel about this right now, looking at such a great unification of the desire, the capabilities, the will of the alliance. I'm really pleased to see what I see here, an operational, ready, capable alliance practicing one of NATO's core tasks, which is to defend the territory of the alliance. I'd like to also bring out the regional focus, which is important because this is actually, should be the guiding principle of any alliance that is as large in its territory as NATO is. And therefore, I'm obviously pleased that the exercise is taking place in the Baltic region, which in turn helps us to make sure that interoperability functions the way we always imagine interoperability in NATO should function. It increases for our allies from further away the awareness of the situation and the geography here. And of course, this is all very natural since as we are entering the post-ISAF environment, we do need to, I think, refocus and ensure that we have regular exercises all over the territory of NATO, which includes, of course, North America as well. When I look back on the time since we joined NATO, and I spent a long time and lost a lot of hair, and the hair that remained turned gray trying to get my country into NATO, we were told that, well, it's very nice, but NATO is a supertanker, and to change the course of NATO is going to be rather difficult for you. Looking back on the past 9.5 years, as the President mentioned, we're coming up on the 10th anniversary of joining. We see that, in fact, it is quite possible to effect change within NATO. I'd like to once again recognize the Secretary General for his great work in really getting planning done for our region, and I think all of us in the region are very grateful for your contribution to this, which we in Estonia, certainly speaking for my country, think is one of the great accomplishments of your tenure. So thank you. So we've managed to change the course of the supertanker. Unfortunately, thanks to the geography of Denmark, we have supertankers in the Baltic Sea, but no carrier battle groups yet. We'll have to make smaller carriers. So I'd like to thank everyone who is participating. I'd like to thank, again, the Secretary General. I'd like to thank all of the wonderful people in NATO who are here and who have worked so hard to make this a success, even if they aren't here today. This is the culmination of a long process, and I think you should all know how much this genuinely means to those of us in the region, and that's why I said Steadfast Jazz rocks.
Thank you. Of course, today I can say it is quite a historic day for us, because after practically 10 years of membership, really we achieved a lot. Today, and yes, last year we decided on defense plans, and decision was unanimous in Chicago. Today we can see that after a very short period of time, we are capable to deliver. We're capable to say that decisions are implemented. And it is regional, and we have 3 Baltic presidents here. And it is symbolic as political support for such kind of activity. And we know that this experience now in Baltic States and Poland will be used also for any part of our territory, of allies, if it will be necessary. But of course, the name of Steadfast Jazz was a surprise a little bit for all of us, and improvisation of my colleague from Estonia, of course, says that, yes, we're seeing this exercise as open, as smart, and only defensive. That means anybody can join together with us and rock together with us. We are not afraid to anybody. We are happy that we can defend ourselves, and we can do it on all our territory. And I want also to thank very much everybody who did this possible, and of course General Secretary personally for his involvement, his understanding, because in the very beginning it was not easy to explain what we are so eager to achieve and what we want after we came and talked in the very beginning 4 years ago. So now it is happening, and I'm congratulating all of us for this day and for tomorrow that we were able to achieve it.
It is indeed a great pleasure to be here in Latvia and to watch the deployed headquarters of the 2014 NATO Response Force in action. And I would like to thank Latvia and you, Mr. President, for acting as one of the hosts of Steadfast Jazz, NATO's biggest exercise this year. And I would also like to thank the presidents and the people of Estonia and Lithuania for their strong and determined commitment to our alliance. The NATO Response Force is the spearhead of this alliance, a rapid reaction force that can defend any ally, deploy anywhere, and deter any threat. Every year we test it on land, at sea, and in the air to make sure that all parts of the force are up to this demanding mission. So I thank Latvia for playing such a key part in making sure that the NATO Response Force is ready for action. But this exercise is about more than just certifying the NATO Response Force for another year. It is also about building the future of NATO, a future in which our forces work together seamlessly, no matter which country they come from. And this is the goal of what we call the Connected Forces Initiative, an ambitious series of training and exercises to keep us ready for anything, even the unexpected. And the NATO Response Force will be at the center of this initiative. So, by hosting this exercise now, you are helping to shape the future of this alliance for many years to come. At the same time, you are playing your part in making European defense stronger. And that is the aim of next month's European Council. And I look forward to seeing effective steps in that direction. And next year, as Latvia takes over the presidency of the European Union, you will lead the efforts to put the Council decisions into effect. And I look forward to seeing effective steps in that direction, because a stronger Europe means a stronger NATO. Thank you.